Hi there. I'm just going to run you through the stuff we talked about in your session. The first thing we talked about was your posture, so remembering that queen posture, crown on the head, and weight hanging off the shoulders like a cloak, and also having most of your weight through the back of your heels rather than through the front of your foot, which will allow you to sort of drop into that kind of posture. So when you bring the weight onto the heels, you're automatically able to stand up straight and activate through the core muscles and get that belly to activate again rather than dropping through the ligaments. So that was the first thing. You can go and check your posture up against the wall and just give your bottom about an inch of space and do some wall angels, making sure that your arms are touching the wall all the way up or as far as you can go. But that will give you an idea of where straight is. So the back of the head all the way through to the bum, touching the wall and making sure the shoulders are touching as well. So that's a good start from a postural point of view. The next thing I want you to do is to be standing on one leg whenever you get the opportunity, but at least twice a day when you brush your teeth. So standing on one leg for 30 seconds when the toothbrush is sort of going for the first, but as soon as it makes that little buzzing sound, you can bend the knee you're standing on, making sure that your knee and your toe are tracking in line, and you're keeping your hip bones even so you're not sort of pushing up one way or the other. If you need a little bit of balance, pop your fingers on the basin and just make sure that you can hold that as best you can without support, but also don't lose your form because you can't hold it. Okay, so 30 seconds on a straight leg and 30 seconds on a slightly bent knee, making sure the knee and the toe are in line. So those are your sort of basic postural advice. When you're walking, we practice a little bit of that runway walk, making sure that the arms are coming across the body and that you are leading with your heels so that you've got that cloak dragging you back and the head still tall. And you can exaggerate this when you're walking around at home just to get that idea of the upper body moving a little bit more. Unfortunately, for the next few years, you're probably going to be pushing a pram. That's fine. When you have the opportunity, use it. And if you can't, at least get that length of stride, making sure that the pram is quite high and you're not just dropping down into that kind of mom posture, pushing the pram in front of you, or the trolley as you'll do in the shops. Sitting posture, making sure that your hips are higher than your knees. The same goes for, the opposite goes for when you're on the toilet. You want your knees higher than your hips to open up the levator ani to let go when you're on the loo. So a little bit of opposite there, but when you're sitting as a rule, hips higher than the knees, it will help you get that upright posture. So I think that was the basic sort of postural stuff we did. Now we're going to run through the exercises we did. We'll start on your back, and you can start there with your bridge exercise. Let's make sure the camera's catching me. And the idea being, there we go, that your arms are supporting you. They can be as wide as you need them to be. It's easier the wider the arms are. It's the harder the closer the arms are to the body, or if they're resting on your belly. You can use your elbows for a little bit of support. Nice alignment. Get your neutral spine so you feel your back isn't arched away from the floor, tucked right in. Activate your pelvic floor and your tummy muscles so you can have a little feel just down and out from the belly button, 2 inches out, 2 inches down. Feel that tension building as you breathe out. Do 1 or 2 just there, and then gradually add in your bum muscles and really squeeze through the bum muscles. And if you need to, go and have a little feel if they're actually working. So once you start squeezing your bum, your lower back will push into the floor, and then your coccyx can tilt towards the ceiling. Make sure that you haven't dropped off the contraction here. So you're tilting, squeezing, continuing to squeeze the pelvic floor, breathing out all the way up, and then breathe in at the top, breathe out as you come down. Ribs come down first, vertebra by vertebra, until the sacrum and the coccyx are on the floor. You can do 10 repetitions here, but what you can also do, as you're breathing out on the way up, you'll probably find it goes up pretty smoothly, ribs come off the floor last. As you're coming down though, you might find that you have these sudden little drops as you come down. So what you want to do is come down a little bit. If there's a drop, stop, a little sip of an in-breath, try and get past it smoother. If you feel the next little drop, stop, come back up just an inch, and slowly try and get through that smoother. And you can do anything from 3 to 5 of those little stop and drops to get the smoothest movement you can do. From there, you can try and do some dead bugs. So you can do those with both arms, both legs, but in your case, for now, 1 foot on the floor, make it just that little bit more manageable. the key thing is to check if you are having any kind of doming of the abdominals, where you feel the abdominal wall is just opening up for you. So try and avoid that, making sure you're tucking that belly button down towards the coccyx. So you breathe in to prepare, using your rib breath, your lateral costal breath, that sort of bellow breath. So you're not breathing into the belly, but for this one you're breathing into the ribs. And then you can raise one leg, feel if you're getting any kind of doming, so you're going to raise on the out breath, and then feel if you lift the other one if you're now getting doming. If you're not able to stop it from doming and popping up, leave one foot on the floor, okay? And the opposite arm of the bent leg also on the tummy, so that you can feel for any doming while you do the movement. So when you do this halfway, you're going to start from there, breathe in to prepare, into the ribs, breathe out, tuck the tummy, tuck the pelvic floor, stretch away from the body as far as you can, and then breathe in as you come back up. And let's breathe out as you go down, making sure that tummy stays flat, the back doesn't pull off the floor, and you come back up. And then exactly the same on the other side. And there you go, just like so. So when you then get strong enough to have both arms and legs up, what you're going to be doing is, again, opposite arm and leg away, and again, opposite arm and leg away. The tempting thing to do will be to, as that leg goes away, to counter and bring this leg in. Or as that arm goes away, to counter and bring this arm in like so. So if you can't do it properly with the knee over the hip and the wrist over the shoulder, then don't attempt to do that just yet with both. From there, you can come onto all fours and do your box hold downward dog. So you're going to tuck your toes in. Make sure you've got a neutral spine so you're not dropped through and not arched up. Neutral spine, breathe in to prepare, tuck your toes under, and as you breathe out, make sure that your spine stays in exactly the position that it is right now, and lift on the out breath. Now you can hold that lift for anything from 5 to 10, even to 30 seconds, whatever works for you, as long as you're not dropping or arching through. So you're keeping your shoulders away from your ears, and you're keeping that neutral spine exactly where it was. If you want to make this a little bit harder and have a little bit more movement, you can also do this on your wrists, by the way, just in case if you're on your knuckles, if your wrists get sore. But you can go from the box hold into a downward dog, back to box hold, and back down. So your breath here would be breathing in to prepare, breathing out into the box hold, breathing into hold, breathing out into downward dog, breathing in downward dog, and breathing out as you come down. You can do it fluid and just keep moving through it, or you can rest in between each repetition. From there, you can go into your super mom, so your posture is exactly the same. You can leave the toes flat for this. Breathe in to prepare, make sure everything is exactly flat, there's no rotation and drop. Imagine that tray of drinks on your back. Breathe in to prepare, breathe out opposite arm and leg, and again go far before you go up. Breathe in as you come in, breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you come in, and just keep swapping from side to side. You can do this a little bit slower, so you're going to breathe in, breathe in to hold, and breathe out to come back. Breathe in to rest, breathe out to move, breathe in to hold, breathe out to move. So I think that covers quite a few of the exercises we did on the floor. And then remembering, every time you go to the loo, 5 good quality squats, touch your bum to the seat. You know, if you go into the loo 10 times a day, that's 50 squats, isn't it? 5 times. And then your lunges, perhaps while you pop the kettle on and see if you can do 3 lunges on one side, 3 lunges on the other side. Good form. You can do some of them forward, or if you feel you want to practice your backward lunge, you can do them backward. Making sure you get that lovely form, shoulders over hips, knees over toes, no naughty knees coming in, and no wobbliness as you go through the movement. Just to get you a little bit more active, use your breath when you're doing anything with effort. Remember your bow and bend method to pick anything up. So back absolutely straight, bum goes back, only then do the knees get involved. Knees, bum. Okay? Any questions? questions, feel free to ping me a text or an email and we can get that sorted. See you soon. Bye.